So some time ago, a study found that 78% of learners in their fourth year of primary schooling cannot read to understand. And back in 2016, South Africa was ranked last out of 50 countries by the Progress in International Reading Literacy on the level of comprehension. And since then, the Department of Basic Education has launched the 1 Million Storybooks Project aimed at addressing the lack of reading resources. We're joined by Godwin, Khoza, CEO of National Education Collaboration Trust, which is working together with the department. A commendable project. Congratulations to yourselves. So maybe tell us exactly how it will be rolled out and what it includes.
Thank you very much. And I do have to express the gratitude on behalf of the partners who are involved in this initiative. It is an initiative that's aimed at contributing towards reversing the terrible effects of low levels of reading in schools and in communities. It is actually one of the initiatives that we initiated in response to the joint project between the president and the minister, aimed at improving just the reading culture, that is taking it beyond just the technical aspects of enabling kids to read. So during COVID, together with the Department of Basic Education, we set off to actually develop 189 titles for the young readers in African languages. And those have now been provided, processed into 1 million books that we're busy delivering, to young kids in schools. I just came from one function where we delivered some of the material to the schools in Mpumalanga.
It's often said that South Africa has a reading crisis. Help us understand this, right? So especially in relation to language, you'll find that there are a lot of people who are unable to maybe express themselves in English or read in English, but in their native languages they are able to do so. So do we necessarily have a reading crisis, or are we finding that we're not maybe capacitating people to thrive by actually plugging in the language gap?
The part about the use of crisis is that I like. It's not get going as quickly as possible. But the other part that I don't like is as if it's something that we can't deal with. So there is a challenge in reading. We've got quite a considerable number of kids who can't read, for meaning. I did come across a couple in the past, weeks who will read the text, but you can see that they're not understanding what they're reading, right? So there's a whole lot of things that happen. The issue of language counts, because these learners use their African languages, their mother tongue on a daily basis. So I suppose if they were able to read first and foremost in their mother tongue, it would be easy for them to connect the sounds that they read out, from the written word to the meanings that sit behind those sounds.
So this project, right, so how far and wide does it reach?
So this project, I must say, it's part of the continuation of projects that we've had. And I do want to pay a bit of credit to the likes of Nalibali and Room to Read, whom we have partnered with before. And before this 1 million books project, we have distributed about 80,000 books through Nalibali and Room to Read. So the role of the NECT actually is to talk to and to connect whatever partners who want to put more resources into schools. During COVID, we had a number of hands and heads that know schools and know little ones, whom we could put to developing new titles. And by the way, there's a shortage of reading content in African languages. So this 1 million books project actually is a result of an unfortunate COVID situation where some of our resources could not go to schools, and we redirected those to developing, content that we're putting out. And we're exploring other ways of extending the distribution of those, including compressing these stories, which are over 2,000 stories. We're compressing them into WhatsApp packages that can be sent out, and that will greatly increase, access to this content.
When we speak of this reading crisis, you mentioned that it's due to a myriad of issues, language being chief amongst which. But what about comprehension on the part of those who are then tasked to teach these little ones to not only just read, but to comprehend?
No, certainly. I mean, teachers are at the forefront of teaching the technical, aspects of reading. So teachers have to actually take this complex process of reading, teaching kids how to decode, written text into sounds that they understand. I must say, I've come across teachers who are doing it very well, and there are teachers who actually don't know how to do it and need support. The NECT, in partnership with the DBE, has taken about 110,000 teachers and school managers through a program called Primary School Reading Improvement Program, which teaches the technical aspects of how they should teach the learners how to read. So we're getting there, but as we know, as per the old adage, practice makes perfect, both to the teachers as well as the learners.
Mr. Khoza is the CEO of the National Education Collaboration. Thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon.